Hey guys, it's Tamara Bennett from Southern Adornments Decor. I'm back again with another Painters Clubhouse sister. We've been interviewing a different one each day. Today's guest is Nicole Rogers, who's been in the clubhouse for a little while now. Nicole, will you introduce yourself? Tell them how you got started with painting.
My name is Nicole. I am located in Central Arkansas. Um, my story is a little different from most people, I guess. I got started in painting during a battle with COVID. I had wound up catching COVID in 2021, and it caused a brain issue. Requiring me to have brain stents and things like that. And I was kind of condemned to my house at that point in time. There was a lot of times where, and still is, there's no driving, things like that. And so I had to do something to keep my mind working because I knew as a former nurse, something just wasn't right, that my mind wasn't there anymore. So I picked up little things. Started out with tumblers, and I'm OCD, so that didn't work too well for me because I couldn't finish that project and be done and walk away.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I believe Tamara came up in like just a ad on Facebook for it. And I thought, that would be really cool because before COVID, I thought, my gosh, I can't even draw stick figures. Are you crazy? There's no way.
That's what people always say.
Yes. And I think I did. I'm trying to remember what workshop it was that I did with you. I believe it was your Hello Spring. I have everything put up over there, but I believe it was maybe Hello Spring that I did. And I thought, this isn't too bad, and she walks me through it straight, back and forth. And so it was a no-brainer for me. I immediately jumped right into the clubhouse and the template club immediately because I knew at that point in time that I had to do something to make passive income. And because I was no longer able to work, and paint parties was just like the thing that I wanted to do. And I also wanted to be able to sell um, products at vendor events and things like that. So for me, it was a no brainer. Um, the week I joined, the first week I joined, we had the Zoom party for that month. And I'm a very much an introvert. I'm that person that usually waits for people to come talk to me before I talk to them. And so I thought, well, I'll just be a little fly on the wall and I'll just sit there and see what they were so welcoming that it was like almost 11 o'clock that night before we all got off of that Zoom party.
Wow.
And we just talked about everything. Um, and I just kind of found my community at that point in time. Tamara has always been herself. She's always been so open and welcome. And the fact that she's also open to religious aspects, if we need it, is there. So it's kind of like my everything. It saved my life at the lowest point in time in my life. It saved my life. Because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. I didn't have friends. I didn't have anything. And now we're coming up on another tough time in my life where I'm fixing to be an empty nester for the first time ever. And so I'm glad that I have the clubhouse to turn to. And of course, the Southern Adornments live in November is just like an excitement beyond excitement for me.
It's something to look forward to.
Yes, and actually get to meet these people. I was really wanting to come to Kentucky, but of course, she had one of her proms, and it just wasn't feasible. So, but I did jump on the one in November, and it's just been a lifesaver for me. I know that at any point in time, Well, just about every day I'm logging into the Clubhouse to
Yeah.
watch it, even if it's just to watch a video,
Mhm.
because I'm still learning. I think I'm running on close to maybe 2 years with you.
Yeah.
I think. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning a lot of techniques, and I turn to things like that, especially when I go have a paint party and I run into one of my customers that are having an issue with how to do something. I'll flip through the Clubhouse to find out, how does Tamara handle this? How does she do this that's different than the way I'm doing it, so that I can teach this person how to
Yeah.
make it easier and how to make it funner.
Yeah. So, if you're just now logging on, Nicole has shared quite a bit with us. I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. She said back in 2021, she got COVID, and you were a nurse before this, right?
Yes.
And so you're a nurse, you're a mom, you're probably really busy
Yes.
and working all the time. And all of a sudden you get sick and everything stops in its tracks.
It did everything.
And the thing that you probably identified as the most is being a nurse and a mom. And you had to put being a nurse aside for a minute because your health took a big hit.
I honestly had to put being a mom behind too, because she
Yeah.
had to take care of me.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. You probably did. I didn't even consider that part of it. And you said that that COVID affected your brain in kind of a unique way. I remember when I had COVID, I had a little bit of that like brain fog. It's like I couldn't concentrate, I couldn't think of anything. Was it like that or was it worse?
What it did is it actually caused exactly what your son has, IIH.
Oh, like hydrocephalus kind of?
Kind of.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
I had fluid on the brain, and so the stents going in helped open that up. And eventually, they would like to shunt me, but
Yeah.
at this point in time, I'm just like, I'm functioning.
Mhm.
I'm making the best of life. So let's just put that off until it's a have to.
Yeah, I didn't even know that COVID could affect anybody in that way, and I knew you'd had health issues, but I didn't realize exactly how it all started and what all developed. And like you said, you had to stop nursing. Your daughter had to practically start taking care of you. And this was something that could keep your hands busy, could keep your mind busy. I'm sure it kind of gave you back like an identity in some way, like because now you
It
see
did.
yourself as a painter and a crafter, right?
It did, because, in all honesty, my mind stopped working. Um, Before COVID, it never shut down. It was like I would go to bed at nighttime thinking about what
Yeah.
I had to do the next day, the conversations I've had that day. My mind doesn't work like that anymore.
Wow.
I honestly can't sit and go, what am I thinking? Because it's not there. It's just as it comes. And
Wow.
so it's affected a lot, but it also opened up that part of creativity that I had blocked,
Mhm.
because my mind did race so much. So
Mhm.
now it allows me to kind of take time to sit down with the patients to do it, because before I didn't have patience to do it. I just had to be going.
Yeah. And so it gave you something to do, but then you said it also started to help financially.
Yeah.
Did you say you were doing paint parties and
I,
also selling them?
yes. Yes. I started doing paint parties. I guess did my first paint party back last September, I guess, is when I finally got the nerve to kind of bite that one in, because it's really hard for an introvert
Yeah.
to put that out there. And so um, I started doing that, and I have gained so many close people and friends now that follow me, and they're there every month. I do one a month at least.
Uh-huh.
And it's mainly to get me out of the house, because I don't
Yeah.
get out. So it helps them, but it helps me, because
Yeah.
it makes me get out of the house. And so, um, yeah,
I remember that feeling well, of feeling like you didn't really have much of a social life, and when you got out, even if it was for business to go teach a paint party, it was like a relief to be around among other women and
yes,
doing something you enjoyed. So, was that part of what helped you? Like, how did you get over the fear to do that first party?
I just had to do it. I knew that financially, um, I was going to be in trouble if I didn't find something extra, because disability is just doesn't make
Not
it.
enough. Yeah.
And so I knew I had to do something, especially with her senior prom and her senior year coming up. And I knew I had to do something. And so finally, one day I actually wrote it in because, like I was doing before we got on the live, I keep a calendar with everything that I need to do for the month here.
Mhm.
And I had wrote in my calendar that on this day at this time, I was going to send the messages to these businesses to get started. And because it was in there in the OCD that I have, I was like, I have to do it. And it was amazing because literally God had me, because the first one I sent, she said yes, which is just not heard of usually. I mean, usually you get turned down before you get that yes. And it just kind of went from there. My first party was 27 people. My
Wow. You started
Yes,
off with a bang.
yes. My daughter luckily was there to help me, and she kind of helped keep me calm. She could tell when
Mhm.
my anxiety was really working up, and it was just amazing, and they loved it, and we went from there. To date, my biggest party has been 48, and it was at Christmas. Of course, right now it's slow. It's the slow time for things like this. So I'm in the process of getting ready for a vendor event in May and things like that. But it was just about doing it, just taking that leap and doing it. Um, but the clubhouse itself helped so much at being able to just take that leap.
I got to read this real quick. Miss Sandy McTeer, who's going to be our guest next month in the clubhouse, is here. And she said, "What a fantastic testimony, Nicole. You've manifested it in your calendar and you made it happen. What a blessing you are, Tamara, sharing your talents and business opportunities with thousands around the globe." Y'all, this is what I mean when I say that painting door hangers and or joining the Painters Clubhouse can be life changing. And
It,
I think I wonder sometimes if people, when they hear me say that, go, sure. How could that be life changing? It's stories like this that prove that if you just pick up the paintbrush, have a little faith in yourself to do the thing, it can move mountains. What does
yes,
your daughter think about all of this? Because she has witnessed you go
she's
through this entire thing.
she's 100% supportive of it.
Oh,
Um, I actually went through a little depression mode, I guess, right when she turned 18.
I'm sure.
And I just was at that point where I was like, I'm done with it. I don't want to do this anymore, you know. And I honestly was ready to sell everything I had. And she refused to let me. She
Yeah.
was like, no, mom, you're not. And I was in a few other, monthly clubs. I canceled them all, but I held on to yours. I don't know what it was. It's the community. I will tell
Yeah.
y'all that. Because I've been in other clubs. I've been in my Tumblr club when I first started. It's not what I thought it was.
Mm.
And when the nitty gritty got down and I started meeting these people and the drama started in there, I don't do that.
We don't
Um,
need that kind of negative energy in our lives.
no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm a person that I want to help. I want to help anybody any way I can.
Same.
And um, I don't, I can't do the drama. I have to have people that lighten my, life, because it does get dark sometimes.
Mhm.
And so the more people that I can attach to that are smiling and that are encouraging, it is like the world to me.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, she encourages it. She helps me um, all the way through. As far as she has been up in here helping me get canvases ready before for paint parties, and she helps clean up and she helps take down, and because there's a lot of that I can't quite do when they're big parties, so
Does
it's
she
good.
paint? Does she paint at all?
No, she's painted once, and I don't know why she won't, because she does an amazing. I mean, she won first place in an art project when she was in kindergarten,
Yeah.
but she won't. She
You
won't pay
you
at
can't make
all.
them though, you know what I
No.
mean? Like, if I forced Charlie to suddenly sit down and paint with me, she would hate it. It has
I
to be her idea.
I think a lot of it too is that she has that same mindset that I had before COVID, that
Mhm,
she's a go person. She's got to
mhm,
go, go, go. And so I think that's why
mm,
she just doesn't sit down to do it.
yeah.
Um, she wants me to do it for her. She has me paint stuff for her all the time, but she doesn't want to do it. But um,
Well, I can't help but think about the influence you must be having on her. Her seeing you go from this very busy, like, mom who's working a job, and then you hit rock bottom, to now building yourself back up and doing something and finding something that brings you joy and connecting with other women. You are setting an incredible example for her to not ever give up and to not, like, take it laying down. You know what I mean? Like, and who knows? She may follow your same path one of these days and do decide to paint, but it's going to be in her own time if she ever does, or she may forge her own path and do something else.
well, my hope and my long term goal is to eventually open a brick and mortar and
Ooh.
offer therapy painting. Um, of course, they bought me the golden doodle, and so that's where the doodle part comes in my business name. And she's my life partner. She's like literally right here beside me, and so I want to be able to share her also, for people that come and just to. It's just an open place that
Mhm.
they don't have to make an appointment. They just drop
Mhm.
in and paint.
Yeah.
That's what my hopes are, to eventually get to that. Of course, I still love to do the paint parties too. So it'll probably be a mixture of all of it together. But
Yeah.
that's
I
what
think
my
that sounds like a wonderful goal, and I love that you're like, your whole mission is to, like, pay it forward, the impact that it's had on you in therapy, you're wanting to pay that forward, and so that makes my heart feel really good too, to know that, like, I was the seed of that, and then it's continuing to grow and grow, and we will never know the impact that we have on so many other people, like, that's incredible.
it did, because like I said, you and this clubhouse, y'all saved my life, because I don't know where I would have turned, especially if I
Mhm.
wouldn't have found you guys and then the Tumblr group went the way that it did.
Yeah.
I I don't know how I would have handled all of that, but um, you are very life changing. And I encourage anybody, if you have any point in time in your life that you're just down or in, join the clubhouse. All you have to do is log on,
Mhm.
and there's somebody that's going to answer you. There's somebody that will, honestly, I feel like sometimes that if I honestly needed to, that I somebody would jump on a Zoom with me,
Yeah.
if I needed them to, or I always feel like I have a connection no matter what. So, and that's kind of what helped pull me out of this last depression of having the empty nest. I say I'm so excited about it and I'm ready to be,
Yeah.
but when it came down to it, it's kind of nerve-wracking when you've always been a caretaker, a mom, or
Mhm.
something your whole life. Because even as a child, I had to take care of my siblings, and so
I've
it's
probably got about 10 more years till Charlie starts thinking about moving the hou out of the house, and I'm just hoping and praying that at least I have 1 grandkid by then or something, 'cause I
uh,
don't know, I'm gonna be a ball of tears on the floor if I don't.
it is. But in the same mind, because I have been something to somebody all my
Mhm.
life, I am ready to find the me and have
Yeah.
me time and
Mhm.
find friends, because I am that mom that never went out with friends and didn't do it because I was dedicated 100% to my kids.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's hard because when they leave, you don't have anything left. And so
Yeah.
because I have you guys, it's like, it's not such a hard leap for me. It's going to be an easier leap than what it was expected.
I think so too. I've said it before that I think painting helps people find their identity,
Yes.
outside of being a mom, outside of being a nurse, a teacher, or whatever. We identify ourselves so much with the things we do and the people we serve, and we forget who we are at the very core of that. And I think painting has done that for so many people in our group. Miss Erica Wallace, I think of her first and foremost because she was one of the first people in the clubhouse that I think I realized that with. I spoke with her and she said, you know, before painting, I was just a paralegal and a mom, and I didn't know who Erica was. And she said, once I started painting, my husband could see a difference in me. And he said, I feel like I've gotten the woman I fell in love with back. And so, you know, if anybody watching this right now feels a little bit lost, a little bit like you don't know what you're looking forward to, you don't know what's driving you, what your purpose is, you don't know who you are at the core of everything, painting could change that for you. It's changed it for Nicole.
And like I said, I had no idea. I honestly didn't think I could even paint a stick figure. So it's, and there's times it's not perfect, but I did it. And, you know, it's amazing to see my growth from where I was to where I am. And you find yourself start digging into different techniques and how to do this, and you're in the clubhouse and you get to see everybody else's work, and it helps strike that part of my mind that doesn't work, that goes, hey, that's a great idea. Now I can do this with that.
Yeah.
So it keeps me alive. It keeps me going.
Yeah. Well, you said it doesn't have to be perfect, or it might not always be perfect. You know, I don't think anything in art should ever be considered perfect. And that's not the point. The point is that you do the art, and it's the journey and the process that, you know, gets you to point B. My son has stepped in here. What do you need, babe?
Can I use your card to go get Dairy Queen with Brett and Charlie?
You're wanting to take your brother and sister to Dairy Queen and use my money to pay for it?
Yes.
That sounds
Are
like
you gonna bring me some ice cream?
You want some?
Yes.
What do you want?
I want a cotton candy blizzard.
Okay. How big?
Small.
Medium? Got
Small.
Large.
Small. And bring your dad back a Oreo cookie dough.
Oreo cookie dough.
You need to write it down so you don't forget. Don't get them messed up.
That's Kimberly for you there.
Yeah.
Okay. My favorite is, Mom, what's for dinner tonight? Well, I don't know. Well, do you want such and such? And I'm like, I guess you're going to pay for it, right? No. She's going to go, can I have your card?
Yeah. Now that he's got a driver's license, I gave him a credit card with his name on it, but it's my credit card essentially. But it was mainly meant for, like, if I send him to Walmart to pick up milk or something, he doesn't have to use his money. And he's found ways to also use it for the things he wants. He's always very polite to ask me. Yes. Yeah, cotton candy blizzards are the bomb. If y'all have never tried them, they're only available in the summertime. Usually by like August, they start fading them out and putting in the pumpkin flavored everything. But I live for the cotton candy blizzards.
Oh, I love the animal cookie.
I haven't tried that one yet.
So good.
Well, I got us all off track here with our interview, so I'll bring us back with one more question. What would you say to the person who is sitting on the fence thinking about joining?
Do it. There's absolutely, don't even give it a second thought. If money's the issue, I promise you could sell one door hanger. Money has always been the issue with me with being disability. But I make sure that I have enough for that, for my monthly membership, because it's more of the community than it is anything. Don't think about it. Just do it. Just do it. If it's not for you, then cancel it after that month, but at least give it a try. Because the women that are in this group are probably some of the most special, sweet, God-loving women that I've ever met in my life.
I've prayed to God that when I open the doors to the clubhouse like this, that he will bring the right people, bring the ones that need it, the ones that want to be there. Because I could add 1,000 people to the clubhouse, but if they're not the right people, it's going to ruin it.
Right.
And so I don't ever take it lightly when somebody decides to join the clubhouse, and I'm thankful for each and every person that chooses to join us. It enriches the community and brings a new flavor and a little bit of something special to the clubhouse. And I'm thankful for people like you who show up and are vulnerable and share your story. And I know this has had an impact on me today. And I felt like I knew you already, but I know you even better now. And so I'm thankful for you and for being here.
Thank you. I love being here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, if you guys are considering joining the clubhouse, you've got until Friday, April 26th. We're going to be closing the doors after that, and we're going to open them up again in September. But, if you've got a little extra time this summer, now's the best time to join and, get started by fall. If you're interested in hosting your own paint parties or selling your door hangers, I mean, there's all kinds of craft fairs. Fall's the best time for parties. You're kind of getting a head start by joining now. It's going to give you time to kind of ease into it through the summer, and you'll be ready in the fall to hit the ground running. And something you said a minute ago, Nicole, made me think, like, people who don't do something like this, who don't paint or teach paint parties, or don't have like a side hustle, if you will, are really limited to trading time for money and working 9 to 5. And if they want to do anything extra, they've got to like really cut back and try to save up. But if you're teaching paint parties and selling door hangers, the sky's the limit. The only thing stopping you is yourself. If you have the determination and the will and you put yourself out there, you could save up and take your family on a vacation. You could afford that vehicle that you really need. You could buy the prom dress for your daughter or whatever it is that you need. You have the power within you to do it. And Nicole is proof of that.
It has paid for all of her senior stuff this year, and it has paid for my retreat in November.
I'm so proud of you, Nicole. Like you are the epitome of everything: hard work, determination, spirit, drive, all of that. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I will wrap it up and say that tonight at 7 p.m. Central, I'm going to be painting this Umbrella Blooms design one more time. We're going to change it up a little bit more, change it and paint it a little different. We've painted it 2 nights in a row. Tonight will be the 3rd night. And then tomorrow night, I'll be live for a live Q&A with all of you, and I'll answer all of your questions. So come and join me then. And thank you, Nicole.
Thank you,
have a great day.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.